Recording in progress.
Hi, I'm so excited to be bringing you guys a new reading. I am your diviner today, Saj the Sage. You can check out my website if you would like to book a personal reading. It's been a while, so I'm super happy to be doing this. Oh, of course, per usual, take what resonates, leave the rest, use your own discernment. And if you do have the abilities to interpret the cards and get deeper meanings for yourself, please feel free to do so. So let's get started. I wanted to put on as much gold as possible for this Leo energy. We are in the Leo season. So let's go ahead and get started. I've been trying to decide whether I wanted to do the collective readings, and I'm going to opt out of it this time, but they may just come back in a different form. So, okay, let's go. I want to start with fire signs, just because it is their season. I feel, I'm feeling the gold, I'm feeling the sun, I'm feeling the fire myself. So let's get started. And I will be testing out this new deck that I've had for a while, and then I've done readings on myself with, most recently. But I feel like I really like some of the references within this deck, and I think that a lot of people would appreciate it. So I'm going to use this as well. It's called the Egyptian Tarot. Maybe I should start to link decks and stuff like that, because I would like to try some new ones as well. Okay, so let's get started. We're starting with the fire signs. Hold on, let me straighten it. How have you guys been? I'm feeling good. I'm not gonna lie. I am feeling good. I just remembered I did channel messages for you guys. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Let me get that. Okay, so this is something new. Well, I did, if you guys have been following my Instagram page, I did channel messages before, for when I was doing articles and typing up readings, which is really scrying sometimes. That's kind of cool. Well, what is it? Oh, automated writing, that's what it's called. But anyway, I used to do channel messages as well, but now, I haven't done it. So my process for getting channel messages is normally to meditate on the energy. So I meditated on each element. So for fire signs, of course, it'll be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay, so this is what I got for you guys. I channeled this, I'm so technical sometimes. Matter of fact, because I wanted to make sure that these readings are also timeless. While this is, yes, it is in Leo season. This video will likely come out around the Leo new moon time period. These messages are still timeless. If you see this at any point, if it's meant for you, the message will still resonate. Okay, so for fire signs, I saw a peacock, and it was a gift. So obviously, with peacock, when they spread out their wings, I always think of they're doing their mating calls and things like that. I think that there is a lot of sensuality that's happening, so a lot of mating season rituals and things like that. That makes a lot of sense. Then I also saw a book, the pages of a book opening up. So I do think that maybe you guys are brushing up on some research and knowledge, really kind of focusing in on things that you probably learned about previously, but you want to kind of get more into the weeds with, or specialize some skills in, especially when we think about we're getting closer to Scorpio season and things like that, that type of thing. I saw bathing, so purification, obviously cleansing. I think that may be I think that to me spoke a little bit to, like, you know, in the deck, the detox energy, where a lot of you guys may be going through some level of detox. I think that is on time for just the transition that we're kind of approaching with the seasons. Like we're technically in the thick of the summertime, but with this heat and things like that, you may be feeling like ways that you want your body to feel like more optimized and things like that. So you may just be incorporating different healing remedies to kind of like, you know, address certain things that might be popping up. And then I saw the sword. That was like the Ace of Swords to me. I think maybe some truth, clarity, you know, that type of thing may be happening, talking about contracts, you know, so yeah. So that's what I got for the fire signs. I'm very excited to see what we're talking about with the cards, guys. Hold on. I guess I'll put my, and my best friend, my best friend Tamia, painted this journal for me. So pretty, right? Okay, I think that I should tag her as well. I haven't been able to tag anybody recently. I haven't got my nails done. I haven't even got my lashes done, y'all. Woo, okay. So, but I can't tag Tamia. Because, you know, I'm using the journal that she painted for me. So okay, so let's go ahead, fire signs. How have things been going? So I just got what I channeled for you guys. That was on the 15th, if you care about the date or whatever. But overall, you know, I feel like right now, and I did see this tweet that was like, with the, I don't want to say it's the Leo new moon, but with this Leo new moon energy, and then being like, okay, it feels very full moon-esque. I kind of agree with that. There are some things with this, and I think it's because, like, if we think about the sun, it exalts things, so it's gonna exalt everything in that way. But with this Leo new moon energy, I am feeling that it's feeling like it's drawing attention and illuminating certain things, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It's maybe like in areas where you may feel like you are under a microscope, if that makes sense, or like you're getting a lot of attention shown onto you and things like that. That's kind of what I'm sensing. But that's, you know, let's see what's happening with you guys. Hold on. And I've been doing like different methods to read through the cards faster. So hold on. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So this is, oh, that's actually pretty good then. Okay, so fire signs, this is actually really good energy. So let's kind of start here. I think that you guys are taking some time to actually explore things that you want to see grow, if that makes sense. Especially when we talk about the seasons for things. This is kind of one of those seasons where it would be great to enjoy some of the fruits of your labor, to, especially like, you know, when people talk about, oh, I've been working out all year and now I get to show my body off, whatever, that type of exploring and cultivation type of energy, to where, you know, that Three of Wands energy of, okay, I've been putting in some work, let's see how, you know, let's reap some of the rewards and kind of enjoy that in a way to where it's like, okay, it has a sense of curiosity about it, you know what I'm saying, to where you're not just trying to, you know, micromanage any sort of outcome, but actually just like really being willing to see where things take you. And I think it is because you guys are kind of surrendering to what your heart is calling for, or at least like what makes you, especially when we talk about resonating, what makes you feel alive and sparked and like, you know what I'm saying, like activated. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things to where you get around it and it can be so monotonous and mundane to where, you know, you can just follow routine. but there are certain things that kind of, you know, bring that spark out of you, make you feel like, you know, life has a little bit more razzle dazzle to it, things like that. And I think you're kind of surrendering to that process, which is amazing energy for the fire signs. And especially because we have, the reason why I said this is really good is because we have fallen angel in reverse, meaning that you're actually not, like, even in the light of temptation to fall to certain maybe like lower vibrational things or fleshly aspects that you like feel comfortable with, that kind of bring you a level of instant gratification, you are still making sure that you show up differently so that you don't succumb to certain things that just throw you off your path, if that makes sense. So I think that that's good energy for the fire signs. Let's kind of let's get into the nitty gritty of things. Maybe I should see let's do some in tarot to see what's going on. Son of Cups. Oh, that's so cute for this. Reverse. Oh, okay. I do think that you guys are starting to cultivate relationships in a different way, if that makes sense. Or at least adhering to like your emotional gratification. Yeah, your emotional gratification in a different way that doesn't say that you're being stingy, but like you are at least reinforcing certain boundaries because you have new opportunities coming in. Let me see. Let's get some more clarity. Oh, wow. Okay. So with this, we have the Five of Swords reversed. The reason why I like this deck is because it also uses like the zodiac sign here too. So I think that that's what Taurus and I don't want to say Scorpio, but is that Virgo? I gotta look that up. I think that is Virgo. If that's Taurus and Virgo, oh my God, that is that's a nasty conversation. Hold on, let me look at this. Oh crap, my phone. Hold on, let me look at it on here. That's funny. I think that is Virgo. I'm almost certain it's Virgo though. Yeah, it is. I'm gonna trust myself. Oh, I actually have a astrological little like hands. Whatever. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna make a big deal of it. Okay. So anyway, the point is it's still the Five of Swords reverse. So with the with the Five of Swords reverse, this does suggest that like any of those type of, you know how there are like just certain relationship dynamics that you have with people where not saying you guys get off on like bickering back and forth, but you guys have a lot of banter, and like some people like to pick your brain. They like to like, you know, have like mini debates or whatever like that. Like with the Five of Swords reverse, it's even saying like, it's like kind of putting away even reacting or engaging in those types of activities, like being so aware of what causes arguments and what perpetuates arguments, that you're basically kind of like putting down the fight completely. Like, you're not saying completely avoid it, but it can be one of those things to where it's like, I'm not gonna fight, I'm not gonna do that. And the reason why I think is because there may have been just some different changes that needed to happen within. And I do think probably in regards to certain boundaries, when we have the Four of Pentacles that you guys have reinforced. Let me see what this is. Okay, so this is this Scorpio and Pisces? Wow, we would get that for the for the Five of Cups. The reason why I say that is because we can like hold on to like, I mean, Cancer's too, you know what I'm saying? Cancer's too, but the pettiness that Scorpio does, Pisces really does get. Like, we get it. We don't always go there, but we get it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was thinking that, to where it's like there may have been certain things that just rub you the wrong way in terms of just mistreatment, disappointments, things like that, to where it was like you could hold on to it, but you're not even going to engage when we have the Five of Swords reverse. So I mean, I'm not mad at that. And also with overall energy, if you guys are more so just focused on exploring what actually makes you feel good, then, you know, that's kind of an easy, you know, it's not really much of a debate whether I want to engage, you know, into some bullshit that's going to get on my nerves or not, you know? Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. This is a little bit better. I feel like it's a little bit dark over here on this side. I don't know. Maybe I need to bring this closer. Oh, something. Oh, this is better. But I still feel like it's a little bit dark though. On that side. Let me not touch it too much. Okay, we just gonna work with what we got. Okay, anyway. Yeah, see, I'm not tripping. It does look dark. Hold on a second. I don't know. I wasn't being too picky about how I set up the camera, and I'm seeing that I'm about to get into Virgo season, so I gotta tighten up. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into what's hidden for the fire signs. Oh wow! Oh, this is so freaking cute. I don't know why. I feel like this is just, I just felt really good. I feel like you guys are really doing an intentional new beginning. Like, it's really serious. And I don't know. I guess just because, you know, with my fire signs, I love them so much. I have a fire Venus, whatever. We're in a Leo energy. My mom is a Leo. You know what it is. It's like, I love these people so much, and I'm very, you know, I think that with the Eye of the Needle and intentionality and talking about making those new beginnings, this is, especially with intentionality being that 1-7 energy, you know, which is talking a lot about partnerships and stuff like that. I think that this is just showing a lot of growth. Obviously, you know, you guys have not seen the last couple of videos that I've done or whatever. I'm working on making sure everything is organized and everything and coming out on time. But, you know, for the other things that have been going on, I do feel like this is a really big transformative period, if that makes sense for the fire signs, especially because we do have the Herald of Change as well. I wonder what number this is. 30. Okay, but, you know, still, it's still I feel like a transformative period, or even there's a manifestation of the changes that you have already been making. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's what's hidden, because like a lot of people, when they see you in this maybe more vibrant, you know, activated, explorative, you know, curious, and, you know, cultivating certain new relationships and things, when they see you in that new energy, they may not be able to see what's been going on under the surface, but a lot has been happening. So I will say kudos to you guys, fire signs. I like this too. Gestation period, winter's dream. It could have been a lot of stuff that was going on since like the winter time as well. But okay, let me get one more for this deck, and then I'll do the ancestors messages. Okay, tidy house clarity, gather around community. Oh wow, you had to clean up house. When it came to the people who you were just seeing as a sense of community, feeling like was a safe space, entertaining to a certain degree, or like, you know what it is, where it's like somebody who doesn't really go out, they don't really do anything either, and they now have to like architect or create a whole new friend group or whatever. This could be somebody like recently moved or whatever. So you know how that goes. But I do just think that you guys are kind of starting from scratch in regards to your sense of inner community, and it's making it's making a much needed difference. Okay, hold on, give me 1 second. Let's see what else is hidden for the fire signs. I'm seeing a gate as well. I don't know why that's important right now. Okay, rebel free spirit. Wow. This kind of plays into a little bit. I'm sorry. I just thought about it. Like, this does play into it to where somebody who probably wasn't hanging out with anybody at all with this gather around community reverse. Like they might have been on hermit mode. Being a little bit more of a free spirit and getting out there and doing something and having the courage to like be the main character in your story and not just in the background of all the shit that you have to do. It's probably gonna be a good aspect. A good aspect. Or like that's probably the secret sauce that is allowing you to be more in that explorative energy. Okay, let's see. This is the Queen of Pentacles with the Four of Pentacles. It's definitely some money. There's some money things going on too for you guys, fire signs. I think either you guys are laying down like the foundation for something for you guys money-wise. Well, Four of Pentacles. See, that's interesting too, though, because you could also just, like I said, I do think that something is going on with the boundaries there too. And you're tightening up. That's what it is. Like, I feel like maybe you're tightening up the foundation of something. And just because of where you want to be financially, and it just makes the most sense to do so. Hold on a second, guys. Because with this Queen of Pentacles, that does suggest, like, I think it's like the Queen of Coins in this deck. I think it is about kind of having that more so, especially when you talk about that Libra energy that also deals with Venus and everything like that. Like, you want to be in a magnetic state of abundance to where you don't feel like you have to work as hard or put too much, put too much in it, if that makes sense. You kind of want it to be like not an easeful, but just a balanced and free-flowing, more of a holistic kind of feel when it comes to finances. So I think that there may be, with that Four of Pentacles, like maybe there's some changes that you guys are making to certain foundations or foundational principles or something like that. Hold on, let's see. Let's get some clarity. Star, Tower, or laying a new foundation because you do have that clarity and organization or whatever. So something, okay, that makes sense. Maybe like certain things that have been happening are causing you to start fresh, if that makes sense. You're having a Tower moment to bring in, you know, a certain level of wish fulfillment, if that makes sense. So let's say this. It's kind of like, you know how it is, like when, and everybody doesn't understand the psychology of this, but to the people who say it probably do get what I mean by this. But like, you know how some people are like, oh, you know, everything was taken away from me, so I had to go harder type of thing. Or like, let's say like, oh, I recently saw this, like people who don't have like parents or whatever, people to fall back on, it causes them to have a different level of drive and push, if that makes sense. That does happen to where, I mean, because I actually have felt like that. I mean, of course, if I had my family, please, you know, don't do in the comments, oh, it's there for you, always, yes, I love y'all. But I'm really serious, like, after I graduated, and then, I mean, I could go back to my parents' house, but I realized, like, when I did go back to my parents' house, what I was going to have to deal with, and I was like, oh, okay, nigga, if you don't get your shit together to a certain level, you're gonna have to deal with this. And I love them, I do, but it did push me to be like, this, you know, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? So I think that there's some like transformative moments that are happening that are kind of clearing the slate, causing you to go into this Four of Pentacles mode to where you do have to lay some like new foundational principles just around like what you're going to, how your financial flow, how your physical flow is going to go. And it's so that you don't have to exert as much. You can have more balance. You know, you don't have to worry about things tipping the scales as much. And it's going to bring you a level of wish fulfillment, because it's going to maybe, especially when we have Tower moments, it's going to maybe put an end to certain things that could have just been getting in the way. Especially when we talk about the community aspect of it. I don't know, like there could have just been in regards to just the different environments that you were around that were depleting you or not nourishing you or whatever it was, to where, you know, now that you're in a space that you're really feeling activated, you can tell the difference. The difference is actually tangible. So yeah, I'm not mad at that. You have Dragon's Horde, protection of the future, popping out too. Oh, did I get? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, let's get an outcome because this is already 25 minutes. Okay. Deep quiet meditation. Oh, that's so good. Okay, yeah, this tower moment is serious. The reason why I say this tower moment is serious is because repairing the veil came out, forgiveness, and that actually comes out of the perfect, right after the perfect storm, which is the tower moment for this deck as well. So the tower moment is coming up again. So I think that there, you know, oh gosh, when we have certain level of disappointments, because we did get like that Five of Swords energy, that Five of Cups energy, to where there are like maybe just like, especially because that five energy is Leo energy, but just certain like expressive or emotional patterns that needed to be changed. And because those changes are being made with the tower moment, with this big kinds of like, you know, clearing, reset, starting from scratch moment, you're getting a chance to be like, okay, this is how I can further connect. This is how I can like move forward without taking on like residual baggage, ways of the past, ways of, not even saying the past, but ways of connecting with people that didn't really bring in a sense of community or harmony. It kind of just brought in arguments or, you know, disappointments or things like that. With the deep quiet meditation, it does show that maybe like some level of just being, you know, alone in your thoughts. If it's an 11, so kind of like focus on your vision, your path, your own personal like foresight is going to kind of bring about like this interthreading of why things had to happen, how you can function while knowing the truth, the ugly truth about certain things and not being able to ignore it. And while also, you know, moving forward in a way that's healthy and showing that, okay, shit is not always perfect. I see the truth for what it is, but there's a level of me interweaving the future that does, you know, that does feed the things that I want to cultivate and does like add to a level of an ecosystem of a world that I feel good about existing or contributing to. So, there's that. Hi guys, I kind of miss doing this. I know. I feel like I don't know why I feel like I miss talking to you guys, or maybe you miss talking to me. There's a level of that there. And I think I just miss expressing myself and kind of getting all, you know, completely just collective minded rather than just my own personal stuff, you know? Even though my personal stuff hasn't been bad, I'll tell you about my life later. But it's been pretty good, you know. I've been going on trips and things like that, work trips. But then, you know, right now I'm ready for like summertime. Okay, so overall energy, we have mindful group think in reverse, and then mini mass, the authentic self. So I actually like that this is in reverse. I think that this is maybe a part of what you're repairing the veil on. This could also be with that Five of Swords in reverse. This could also be, you know, the tower moment, whatever it is. But I think that you guys with this mini mass, I think you guys are probably seeing how I'm trying to think of how to say that, especially because we're talking about exploring and things like that. You're seeing how you can blend in with different groups, different realms, different perspectives, or whatever it is, while still remaining your own authentic self. That's what I think, because with this mindful group thing in reverse, it does suggest that you are probably being a little bit more of the starker example, like the starker, like the opposite of what it looks like in certain instances, to be along with groupthink. But with the mini mass, it does suggest that there's a part of you that maybe like within the same realm of like a small talk or being open-minded, like I said, with that Five of Swords energy, to where it's like, okay, look, I know that me and you, we can relate on XYZ, we get along, we have a lot to talk about in XYZ categories, but I do know that when we get into nitty-gritty of a specific area of this, you know, this industry or this job or whatever the fuck it is that we have so in common, when we get into this specific topic, we go at it. So instead of feeding into that fodder and that reactionary type of thing, you're kind of just realizing like, okay, I can speak to an extent to everybody's point of view. Not even everybody all the way, but that is a queen of coins in here, and that is Libra energy, which means that you are, in a way, being a diplomat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see where everybody's needs or everybody's perspective is necessary, but I still have my own thing going on, which is good. And I think that that's necessary for you guys, especially when you are creating this new sense of community, because maybe that was a part of the old community that was not working. Okay, let's get one more card for the outcome, and then we're moving on. After performance, wow. Presence. Okay, so yeah, I don't know what's going on. What is going on? I think it is this community thing popping up. Something is happening, seriously. But we have grandfather presence, and then we have actor performer. So there is, I actually did I have a good example about this. It's a sexual one, so, you know, bear with me, guys. So bear with me, I'm serious, but it's a sexual example, but it makes perfect sense for what I'm about to say right now. So there's a difference between having sex for a sport and then having sex because you are enjoying the sensations of it. And you're just like so full of your and present within your body that you see what is like taking you to the next level. This is the real difference that you're witnessing, you're feeling, you are making clear, you're organizing within yourself and with others, is that there are certain ways that people show up that are performative, and then there are ways that people show up where it's just like, I'm just being present in a moment, I'm just being myself. You know what I'm saying? So that is a big part of the outcome. I think that you guys are healing whatever, it could be some community things as well, but I just think that it's just the way that you connect with people, the ways that you explore new things, you know what I'm saying, to where it's like, I don't have to just go along to get along. I can come into this new space, I can explore, and I can still be true to how I feel while enjoying the aspects of certain new things that work for me and being real about the things that don't. You know what I'm saying? So I love this for you, fire signs. I think that, this is just good energy overall. I think that this is just a transformative energy, a more intentional energy. So, you know, let's see what happens in the next video. But I'm wishing you guys well. I think that this is great things in regards to what you're changing and stepping into. And, you know, we'll see what happens. I love you. I shouldn't say I love you. I don't even know y'all, but I do have a I do have a lot of love to give, you know what I'm saying? And I think I did. I just think that I missed doing this. I do, and it's so crazy. And I feel like what I did before, like when I was like the videos that I wasn't able to put, do I have to include this part? I don't have to express everything that has been going on me, but it is true. Like, but the videos that I was able to record before, like I was doing them in the midst of everything that I had to do. And so, you know, I was trying to just push it out. But, you know, I didn't even end up editing it, or, you know, it didn't even end up uploading or whatever on time. So I had those barriers. But, you know, now that I'm doing it now, it just feels like, you know, I want to do it. I miss doing it. I want to, you know, edit things. I don't know. It's just totally different energy. So take that with you guys. I guess that is a good example of the performance of things versus being present with it. But okay, let's move on to next time. Okay. So let us move on. What is after fire? I probably should have thought about this. Earth, I think. Yeah. Okay, me Earth sign. I love Earth signs too. All right, let's go ahead and get into the overall energy for my Earth signs. I don't know if you guys have been skipping ahead or whatever, but if you do want to look, if you're watching this during like, you know, like the new moon Leo phase or whatever, I do think that potentially, you know, if you have some fire sign placements to kind of take a look at that, because that was a really, I don't know, it was just a great reading. Okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get into specific messages for my Earth signs. Okay. Oh no, it did come up. Maybe I spoke that into existence, but I mean it did. Let's see though. Okay. Oh, that's cool. And like I told the fire signs, like I'm going to be pulling as much cards as I can. Just to be mindful of the time frame that it takes me to complete these. I've been really studying myself in regards to like what is making me take so long with certain things. So hopefully I feel like this is gonna help you guys. Oh, Father Authority. Wow, this is interesting. Okay, Earth, this is all right. This is interesting. Okay, so I just thought about something. So, okay, Earth signs, I think that you guys really want to, I don't want to say have a good time, but to enjoy things. I think that with the forgiveness and the repairing of veil, you guys are, I'm not gonna lie, you guys are in a emotionally restorative space. That's the best way to put it. An emotionally restorative space. And you want the power of community to kind of help, not mend your heart, but to help you get into your heart frequency. You know how it is to where you're with people and you're like, oh, this feels at home. I can be myself. I'm not even that I'm avoiding thinking about all the important shit in my life. I don't even think about it because I'm having so much fun and things are so good. That's what I'm feeling with this joyful muse, this heart, home, compassion, gather around with community, and the forgiveness that you guys are repairing the veil of forgiveness that you guys are kind of experiencing, because that's a heavy card. That's coming after a tower moment when we get repair the veil. With this authority with this father figure authority card and this seed planting thing, I think that there is something with your masculine energy. I mean, Earth is a feminine sign, but or a feminine element, excuse me. But obviously everybody has masculine and feminine energy. So I think that in regards to the masculine energy with you guys, you are looking to make the right initial steps, to cultivate the right environment, to have the right intentions. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. To have the right intentions with how you want to go about things, in the sense of leadership that you want to have, and the type of responsibility that you want to take on. That makes sense. So let's kind of see what else is going on. Let's get some details of what's going on. Definitely ancestors, guys, okay, is you done? We got the Emperor. Okay, that makes sense. Because I'm like, can I... Five of Cups in reverse. Okay, disappointments. Everybody's getting this little, but this is you're getting out of it. Okay, the Fire Signs got 5 of Cups too, but they got it with the arguments and stuff. I think that with the 5 of Cups in reverse, this is speaking to like with the Emperor. I think that this is speaking to like emotional maturity, really. If that makes sense. Like emotional maturity and how you handle disappointments and how you handle things that, and how you handle oh, that hurt. And how you handle things that hurt you. How you handle even like abandonment, mistreatment, things like that. There's a sense of like maturity with this Emperor card. It's just Emperor, right? Is basically like saying someone who is kind of like about their business, who is a leader, who is kind of like, you know, like reliable, responsible, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like you're changing the way that you take responsibility for these these emotional triggers or these even emotional connections, especially when we have the 5, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be, or this way you're expressing yourself too. Like how you even approach it. I think that right now you guys are completely just maturing in a specific way. It may have to do because you are being like something is being forgiven at this moment. Like you are having to extend grace to yourself or to others, or to kind of like really pick up the pieces after something that was hurtful. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to the Tower moment, that transformation is a deep, painful transformation. It's not like when we get the Judgment card, or let's say like the World card, to where it's a transformation happening, but it's like the cycles, whatever. Or the Judgment card, it's like a spiritual transformation or whatever, and it's like some level of realization and finality, whatever. With the repairing of the veil and forgiveness, it's like this is some shit that's kind of like, okay, to where even certain levels of reality just have to be like reworked for you, because you're seeing things completely different now. You know what I'm saying? And that can be traumatic. It doesn't always have to be, but there is a level of like, okay, I need to accept and forgive and move forward. But yeah, so okay. I feel like with the Emperor and this 5 of Cups, it's basically just talking about the fact that, we have, especially with the 5 of Cups in reverse, it's like getting over or kind of releasing some of those disappointments and realizing like, okay, you know what? I have a level of authority in this. I want to be a little bit more intentional about the seeds that I'm planting for, like, how I'm showing up for people, how I'm expressing myself, so that when I do have these moments where, I'm let down, or I have to look at the cup half full instead of half empty, or there's certain level of spilled milk or whatever, like mistakes that can't be reversed or whatever, I can move forward with it in a way that is, productive. And I think that you guys are doing it, especially because we have the Emperor card here. So let's see what's hit. Oh, I want to use my new deck. Oh yeah, if y'all haven't looked at the other readings, I'm using this new deck that I'm really excited about. Well, I mean, I've been had this and I've been using it, but I haven't used it, for the collective yet. So, okay. Oh, wow. We got the Moon and 2 of Wands. Okay, and this is Aries energy and Leo. Oh, okay, wow. Oh, ooh, woo. Woo! No, that's crazy, 2 of Wands. Because if you think about it, we had the nodal shift that just happened, which was shifted into what? North Node Aries. And then we have the Leo energy that we're in, Venus retrograde in Leo, all this stuff. Baby, I think we even have Mars in Leo. I gotta look that up. But listen, 2 of Wands energy in that type of environment, it does lead to some Moon energy. Actually, okay, so in this deck, it has a specific interpretation if it's talking about emotions or something like that. Hold on, let me look. So I think it's like the subconscious, something like that. Hold on. Okay, in the spiritual world, the abyss of the infinite. In the intellectual world, the shadows which envelope the spirit when it has submitted itself to the rule of its instincts. Woo, that's that subconscious taking over. In the physical world, deception and hidden enemies. Remember then, son of earth, that whoever so braves the unknown does so at his peril. I guess like at his own will or whatever. I don't know. We'll look it up. Hostile minds, figured by the black dog, will surround him with ambushes. Friendly, servile minds will offer him flatteries, and treacherous minds, like onto the Scorpio, will plan to attain their ends through his ruin. If it does appear in a prophetic sign of observe, listen, but know how to be silent. I think that does have to do with the emotional expression. I'm sorry. I mean, obviously, I just read it just because it was rather interesting. But look, what I'm saying is for the moon card, I do think that this is dealing more so with the emotional aspect of it. And I would say that does lend more towards like the spiritual aspect with kind of like really kind of looking into the abyss, if that makes sense. When it comes to that, especially when we're talking about, that is like literal like seed planting energy, you know what I'm saying, to where you're kind of looking at like the limitlessness of how you can interpret or receive situations that happen to you. And then if we think about it in an intellectual sense, you know, you don't necessarily want to have it to where you are allowing like your own subconscious instincts and patterns. When we have the 5, you know, it could be, I really do think it's more so of expression, but it sometimes plays into patterns as well, or innate gifts and things like that. But like we do have these certain ways about ourselves that can lend to certain outcomes or to certain modes of expression or to certain, you know, ways of viewing things or whatever, or approaching things. And I think that when we have like this kind of, because the 2 of Wands is a little bit of crossroads energy, it is basically like, you know, kind of a fork in the road, you know what I'm saying? Like to where, you know, especially with Leo and fire energy, is kind of like, you know, we kind of, one of these ways are going to outpower the other way. Yes, we could say we're meeting at the middle, but even at the middle, it may be a little bit too fiery, a little bit too much to actually sustain it anyway. So I do think that obviously, I mean, you can't really sit, and you could have a house in the middle of the crossroads or whatever, but you're gonna get a lot of traffic there and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So just realistically speaking. So this is what I say. I feel like with this energy, I think that whatever has been going on with you subconsciously, just in regard to some of the more challenging things that maybe needed to, like, you kind of have to kind of, I don't want to say reevaluate, but basically shift your intentions for, especially when you have sitting in that sense of authority. That's the emperor energy. You know what I'm saying? Like basically to where you have to have new intentions for how you're showing up in your masculine energy. You know what I'm saying? When you kind of present it with that rock in a hard place, you know what I'm saying, to where a change has to happen regardless. You know what I'm saying? What do you do at this point? You have to more so kind of trust that you do have like a limitless possibility that you can dive into, that you know, and not to limit yourself in that way, but also kind of mature and take a lot of sense of authority to let you not falling into any patterns or ways of being that, you know, just don't serve you. Okay, let's see what's hidden. I know I feel like that moon card kind of gave us a little sneak peek, but let's see. Ancestors, God's Most High. First signs, gestation period, regular. Wow. Whoo. Okay. Ancestors, God's Most High. First signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Unparked trails, resourcefulness. Okay, yes. I feel like these are two separate groups of, yeah. These are two separate groups of earth signs. Okay. Okay, the reason why I say this is because I was kind of sort of feeling that with the moon card too, but this is what I say. I think that for some of you guys, there is an element of what you're maturing that is just totally 100% emotional and related to like the people you're connected to, whatever, like your relationships and things like that. And I think that there's another group of you guys who are maturing in a way that it has to do with completely doing something new that is about you showing a sense of responsibility and leadership, basically. And so it could be a little bit of both, like, you know, like this is like, let's say you're, I don't fucking know, to where like you're kind of like going through a period in your work life to where you're trying to take on a new sense of leadership and responsibility, but you're also kind of going through some relationship upgrades, emotional repairs, emotional upgrades, that type of thing. So, but I do think it's just two separate groups. So I would say for what is hidden for you guys, we have the Joyful Muse and the Heart Home. And then we have Gathering Community. And okay, I think that right now, Earth signs, overall, your network in the sense of people around you are going to be important and very impactful factors of, you know, how things kind of go, if that makes sense, in regards to like the different things that you're starting fresh on, or the different things that you're kind of stepping into a new sense of responsibility and skill set for, or whatever. Like when you are kind of in these like fresher spaces, especially after going through something to where, like, let's say like an injury or whatever, which is relatable. Like, okay, you've been working out and then, you know, you experience a level of injury. So now it's kind of like, all right, you know, I'm going about this in a totally new way. It's more matured. I have more skills. I have more perspective, and I know more things that I can do, right? To kind of like prevent certain injury and things like that. But I also still need, you know, some support. Like, let's say, you know, I could still use somebody to spot me or whatever, just in case the injury that I'm healing from and repairing from or whatever it, you know, flares up or, you know, causes something to be a little bit weaker than it normally is. You get what I'm saying? So it's completely relatable because that has happened to me before. So that's why I say for this, it's like one of those things to where it's kind of like, look, a part of you is trying something completely new. You know what I'm saying? You want to do things differently. You want to have a fresh sense of how you're like, just the approach, period, the intention, period, of what it is that you want to manifest, right? So embrace that, but also don't be afraid to ask for people's, you know, perspective or help. You know what I'm saying? Period. I think because with this gather around community, that's just downright help. Like, okay, once you do have an idea of, okay, this is kind of where I want to shift and go to, do anybody have resources around it? That's why we have the horn cactus resourcefulness. Like, does anybody have any even experience with it, or do they know somebody that does? So you do have to kind of trust the process on that. That's one of those things too where you trust the process. I mean, I would say, the fire sign approach was definitely exploration and curiosity. You guys have joyful muse, which means that you do need to like feel good and have your senses satisfied. So maybe like do things that allow you to be the most, not indulgent, but just like the most, you know how something feels decadent? You know, like just feels like you're getting the most potent experience from it. Grandfather presence, haha, came up again. Oh, fire passion. Come on. I just said it. So yeah, I do think, especially because the fire passion is in reverse. This is in reverse. So this might be why, you know, I'm like, these might even be two sets of different fire. This is fire. Earth signs, y'all. Earth signs, just because it's like some of the earth signs are like, I can see the newness. Oh, my bad. I have on breast tape. I have on breast tape, so my my boobs won't be out. But or you know, I'm getting too comfortable on this goddamn thing. Okay, oh Lord, I might have to cut that out. Okay. I'm not gonna feel like cutting it out. So whatever, you saw my birthday. Get over it. But what else I have to say? Hold on, okay. So with the fire being reversed and we have grandfather presence, yes, when we think about like things, like I was just saying to you guys earlier, things that kind of make us feel like we're getting the most potent experience, it normally are the things that we're passionate about, the things that we kind of can get lost in, the things that we could kind of just let the fire and the motivation and the will within us kind of take us and lead us, you know what I'm saying? So that's why that's coming in reverse. And then we have grandfather presence. It's saying that you guys need to be present in what that is for you, and that's going to definitely help. Let's go ahead and look at what the tarot cards got to say too. Oh, lovers, what? Oh, death. Damn. That is a hell of a motherfucking combo. Okay. Earth signs, I don't know. I didn't expect that. Let's get some clarity around this. This is why I do think this is two separate groups. I think this is for the group where we have the Winter's Dream and Wailing Tree reconciliation. I think that's what it is. I do think that's for two separate groups. And then we have Judgment and Ace of Wands, which at least, I don't know, dude. Okay, so there is what did I say? Deep transformation. I brought up the Judgment about it being a spiritual transformation. I'm almost certain it was this reading. Okay, so look, there's a spiritual transformation going on. Oh Lord, Earth, what's happening? It's so much. I can't even, you know what I'm saying? It's really so much happening with y'all right now. Because we started off good and then, but I should have known, I started clarifying and I got the Emperor and the Five of Cups reversed, that there was going to be some shit going on. So the reason why I say that, we have the Death and the Lovers, baby. What more of a transmission do you want? It's an ending of a cycle of a total way of being, a total way of integrating and interconnecting with people. When we have the Lovers card, first of all, it's a Gemini card. That's the masculine and feminine card, high key. And when we talk about the Lovers just within you as an individual, it's talking about like your holistic sense of being. If we're putting death to that, what the hell? That's so much. That's really a lot, Earth. I'm not gonna lie, this is a lot. So I don't know what's gonna that's what I say. When they say that this new moon era right now with the Leo, it's feeling like a lot, but I think because we have the blue moon this month as well, it's a lot going on. Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, it's just a lot. So yes, you are completely clearing out an entire sense of identity of self 9 times out of 10. You might be able to completely start over in regards to like what you even said that you wanted to do with things. You know what I'm saying? Like when we have the definite Lovers, like yes, this could be the end to a relationship. That's like obvious, but it could just be like truly because the person that I love is not there anymore, if that makes sense. Like I am a completely different person. The person that fell in love with you is a completely different person now. And that is literally why. And then we have the judgment, which is like, this is an ordained process. It's a spiritual process. This was meant to be to where, you know, I was going to go through this deep spiritual transformation. It was going to finalize and affirm certain things. And then you get the Ace of Wands, meaning now there's a passion, that passion that's in reverse right now in regards to what is present. I think maybe that there are things that you're passionate about that you probably haven't even had a chance to actually actively pursue and take action on. When we have this Ace of Wands coming up here, and now you are getting action and the opportunity and the freedom to do so. And so, yes, that's what's happening, Earth sign. This is a lot. This is a lot. I'm like, I think it needs some more clarity. Because I'm just like, I don't even know. I do think this is two separate groups. I do think that there's just certain things that are happening within individuals. And I do think this is happening within people and partners. So then we have the Queen of Swords. This is a Virgo card. And then the Two of Swords. This is what? I think this is Capricorn in Taurus. Yeah, because this looks like Capricorn. Damn. And then we have the Venus card. Ooh. Okay. Lord, I don't know. I feel like I done got into the trenches. I don't know. I don't know what happened. We was on the up and up. Okay, so, okay. This is not that bad. The reason why I say that, because I thought I was getting more clear about what was happening, and then now it's like, okay, now I definitely don't know. But okay, when I think about this Queen of, because Virgo is Earth, very earthy. We are approaching Earth season. And details also, but the Venus, I think there is something specific about what it is that you want to lay the foundation for and plan towards. You know what I'm saying? And actually, like, especially because we're talking about taking action towards certain things. I think it's a meticulousness that may be showing up that might be prickly. That's what it is. Something is showing up a little bit prickly about this. There's a lot of swords energy right now. And Two of Swords isn't inherently bad, but it does say that there is a little bit of indecision where a decision needs to be made, or there is a choice that's happening, right? And so there's a choice that is happening, and there are things that are being made clear. This may have to do with the Venus energy. I think this is why I feel like I'm sensing it has to do with the actual physical starting new things in your resources, as well as also relationship wise too, because with Venus we have just material altogether, receiving, as well as romance, connection, and a level of partnership. So it can go both ways. I feel like there is a specific way, a meticulous way that you want to do things. If you have a Virgo energy, you know it can be picky. Yes, a very particular way that you want to do things, and you want to lay down a foundation so that it is clear. That is why you're planting the specific seeds. That's why you're taking authority on certain things, and that is why you're examining what is actually lighting your fire. And because there's certain things that are going to get cut out with this Two of Swords. We have the death, we have, you know, the judgment. Everything is saying that there's going to be certain level of finalization to something. So, okay, woo, let's go ahead. I'm like, Earth, what the? This is a lot. Let's get into the outcome of what's going on. Because we pushing it. Y'all at 29 minutes. Okay, overall energy for the Earth signs. Tree balance, okay. Oh, Spirit Guide, I'm in reverse. Interesting. Tree balance. This is something that's not being balanced. That has to do with how you are being guided, which is why you are, I think that has to do with the fire of, the Five of Cups. I think that there, you know how they say, like, you know, we can have spirit guides that are a little bit on the darker side. You have to know what spirit guides to go for with certain situations, right? You know, we can have spirit guides that guide us to do certain things one way, and we have spirit guides that guide us to do things in a neutral way, and then we have spirit guides who guide us to do things in the total opposite way. And so it makes sense that if you are maturing in the way that you're expressing, the way that you are even handling those, more transformative emotions, things that kind of like make you feel like, oh, things cannot be the same after this because I feel like this, blah, 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 whatever, right? When we have that and we go and consult with our guides, we should probably go to people who are going to focus more so on healing and compassion for us and where we're at, so that we can be a little bit upright, if that makes sense, to where it's like, we're not just, because inspiration is talking about the breath and things like that, where we're not just off our rocker in a way, if that makes sense, to where we're not just acting in a way to where it's like a repeat. Yeah, I'm about to say I don't, because you don't really have the Six of Cups here to say that there is a repeated pattern, but with that Five of Cups, I do feel like that is one of those type of like crying over spilled milk type of things. And it's like, we can't fix what is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So let's actually focus more so on like being inspired about it and like seeing like the newness that can happen and healing and having compassion, you know what I'm saying? And having balance instead of kind of going for, getting the affirmation that you're going to get, because you do have guides or ancestors that will affirm you and say like, yes, certain situations are certain situations and I don't stand for it, and we could act in a, gabble, Judge Judy way. But there are some other ancestors or there are some other spirit guides that you could reach out to that will say, okay, I have a level of insight that could show you kind of where more than one side is feeling satisfied, or that they, that they have justice, or they have a level of fairness in a situation. This is a lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna. Okay. To this, you're balancing things in regards to emotions again, Lord. Okay, I got it. Let's see with it. I'm not saying I'm trying to change your outcome, but let's get a message about the outcome. Accurate, specific message. Oh, for Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Accurate, specific message. Symbolizing intervening signs for Taurus. The ego sublimination. No, some shit didn't happen, bruh. Okay, listen, this is nothing. We can't. You can't make it what it ain't. Okay, so I don't think y'all something that happened is not as bad as the fire signs. The fire signs done went through some shit. Y'all are in the healing stages, but I think that this self-reflection or something that's going on, something is going on with that. Something is going on with that. We got ego sublimination, Venus your mirror. And that's a 5 and an 8. Come on now. Like, that's like Leo and Scorpio energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like really trying to figure out like what type of patterns and what type of even generational things that's happening. And then we have Garden of Venus here. So it's like, I do think, okay, this is why I say there are two different groups, bro, for this. I do think there's two different groups, earth signs. I'm not gonna lie. Because it's telling me certain things are telling me two different stories. I feel like there's a group of you guys to where, truly there's just some inner work that is happening that is causing you to kind of like show up in a more balanced way. That's causing you to like look towards the new and, freeing up your time for certain things. And then there's certain there's certain earth signs to where I feel like maybe like even the like the general approach or the school of thought that you opt into more often does need some balancing and maturing. I do think that it's happening right now. And then I do think that Like, there is a level of enjoyment that needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is a level of enjoyment that does need to happen. Obviously, that's across the board. But I think that there is, like, some death. If it could have been an ego death, it could have just been a sense of, like, self-identity and, like, what you kind of were going along with as your persona, literally, like, your persona that is being transformed, and now you have to figure it out and go and do something different and new. So this is a lot. I love y'all earth signs, but that took me out. That took me for a loop, because I'm like, now what? I do feel like that was two different groups or something, because I'm like, okay, so let's move on to the water. Yeah, I just realized I forgot I forgot to share the channel messages that I have for earth signs. Okay, like I said to my air signs, you know, I'm trying to, well, I'm not even trying, I am including channel messages within the readings. So how I normally do mine is I basically meditate on each element, see what shows up in my subconscious mind, things like that. I think that's pretty much all the disclaimers. Okay, so for earth, we have, okay, serving. Okay, I saw a silver platter. Interesting. I don't know what that is. I feel like maybe like serving something up or getting like some sort of offer that is on a silver platter, something that you don't have to work as hard for. 3 Trinity I saw as well. What else? Something coming full circle by fall, because I saw like oh, that was a little bit of a cryptic one. But yeah, something is coming full circle by fall. Cherry blossom, doesn't know what that means. I should have I should have looked up the symbolism of cherry blossom. I think it is, I don't want to guess. Just look it up. Oh, okay, and an inviting path to take things to the next level. Oh wow, that came up in a reading. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that, because I didn't read it in the beginning. But yeah, so that new path to take things to the next level, I do think that's like a maturation period, some level of self-development. I do think it's a level up, probably more so in responsibility and your sense of leadership and power, that type of thing, or sense of authority, maybe even independence, who knows. But yeah, so that's what I have for you guys. Obviously, take what resonates, leave the rest. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so it's not actually, oh crap, I have to hit record over here. Hold on.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so it is air after earth. Okay, so come on guys, let's go ahead and get into it. So for my air signs, oh, now that I have remembered, I also have some channel messages for you guys that I will be sharing. These are messages that I meditated on. I meditated on each element, and you know, just saw what I could pick up, and then thought it would be good to share with you guys. If you've been following my Instagram, Inspire Line, then you know that this is something that I've included back when I was doing like my articles and things like that. So that's pretty much the process. Okay, so for air, I see transparent communication. Yeah. And I think it's also going to be in regarding like something that actually helps your nervous system, because what I actually saw was like an x-ray of the throat. It's interesting. So you could like see like the bones in the spine, but obviously it's like an x-ray of the throat. So I'm like, okay, transparent communication, neck, spine, nervous system, that sort of thing. Getting the okay about certain moves, I see that. Power of stillness, which I do think attributes to magnetism. And then key to the heart unlocking, that type of thing. So that's what I have for you, air signs. If it resonates, you know, obviously take what resonates, leave the rest. Use your own discernment, but let's go ahead and get into the reading. Okay. Which ones am I doing next? Oh, air, but hold on. I wanted to see which one I want to start with. I do have a new deck that I'm including. I really do feel like most of you are probably watching this all the way through, but for those who don't, I do have a new deck that I'm including. It's the Egyptian Tarot deck, so it's been interesting so far. Okay. Air sign, new beginnings. Well song resonating. Wailing song, reconciliation, gestation, winter's dream. Who just got that, air signs? Earth? Might be dealing with some earth placements, or you may have some significant earth placements in your chart. Hold on. And then what else? Oh, I've been using the what is this? Messages from the Ancestors deck. I don't like how I have this set up. I feel like you guys can't see everything as well, as good as you normally can. And you definitely don't even see everything that you normally see on this. This is better. Ooh. Come on. There we are. Baby, looking good. Okay. All right. Mother nurturing. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right, air signs. This is really interesting overall energy, I'm not gonna lie. Moon mating, new beginnings with well song resonating, as well as winter's dream gestation period. With wailing tree reconciliations. Wow. And then we have mother nurturing and movement dancer. This is telling a very specific and complex story, if you think about it. So essentially to where like maybe there was some lack of like feeding into like your own sense of flow and way of being and just the way that you normally like to do things. And there needs to be like some level of where it is probably already starting, especially because we have the moon mating, new beginnings. It does suggest that you are approaching or embarking on those new beginnings to where you can just kind of go to places to where, you know, you feel like more active and you do feel like you can flourish and be more graceful and free flowing in. This winter's dream gestation period and wailing tree reconciliation, that speaks to some really deep emotional ties and connections. I know I don't want to say that. I don't want to say it, but I do think this is true. We're talking about reconciliations here. It's also dealing, it could be ancestral, just in regards to just like the family that you have, especially if we have mother here along the mother maternal bloodline, or just like patterns from your maternal side that you are making like amends with and coming to terms with. And this could also show up in your relationships. And then with winter's dream gestation period, it does suggest that there's a conflict low-key because of the energy that you do have with like the things that you are amending and repairing in regards to like deep connections that you have, deep ties, whether that's genetically or physically, you know what I'm saying? There's a part of you that really kind of wants to cocoon and it's not a full hermit mode, even though that is a snail, but kind of just like, you know, burrow and, you know, get comfy in, you know what I'm saying? It's a part of you that wants to do that. And there's a part of you that wants to have something new completely. So that's a complex story to tell, but you know, it's a common one. You know what I'm saying? That's the nuance of life. That's kind of how things go. You know what I'm saying? To where, you know, you may have had something that you have to make amends with. You realize, oh, this is how I haven't been nurturing my natural flow, my natural, you know, approach, and just, what is it? Going to the beat of my own drum. You know what I'm saying? This is where I haven't been doing that, and I'm so ready to do it, but you may still have to have some level of gestation period, growth, healing, that type of thing. That's crazy now. The world, don't say the world isn't, I say the world is, it's a little bit on the reverse side, but it can go either way is what it's looking like. We have the Three of Pentacles here. Okay, so what you're building towards, oh, that was why I can go either way. Because what you're building towards right now in terms of your own free will and your actual, like, everyday actions and what you're building, Jesus Christ, not to say building towards again, but to say like, oh, fuck, the energy that you put into, you know what I'm saying? You know how it is like the compound energy that they say like, oh, when you work out or whatever, like the compound energy is why you see the results. Like what you're compounding on is at this moment in terms of your free will is making the actual wheel of fortune and that kind of shift in your reality, if that makes sense. It's not a wheel of fortune, it's a world card, but you know what I'm saying. Sorry. My bad. Spirit said, say it correct. Correct, ma'am. Okay, I got it right. But I do think that there is the way that you're compounding on things and building towards things that's actually making the shift for you happen. And it's a meticulous process to where you want to be specific with your words. You know what I'm saying? You want to be specific with the energy that you're putting out. You want to be specific with the way that you're flowing, the way that you're moving, the way that the pace in which you're doing certain things. We have the Daughter of Pentacles and the Daughter of Cups. Wow. Okay. So this is the page. I think that you're putting the energy out there. You're putting the energy out there. You're putting the energy out there in regards to how the energy that you're willing to receive, the energy that you're willing to entertain, the type of things you're willing to consume, that sort of thing. And then you put the energy out there in terms of just your overall emotional disposition. You know, what it is that you are kind of like getting your emotional satisfaction from, and you know, the ways that you're emotionally connected with people, and just the overall kind of just those outward expressions of it. I think that is what you're mostly, I don't want to say focused on, but that's just where you're at. You know what I'm saying? I think that is, it's not even it is a baby step because it is a page too. It's like an initial step sort of thing. It's beyond the Ace because it's not just the intention or just like the actual, you know, opportunity just coming to you and like that door just initially opening. You kind of are getting your reps in, you know what I'm saying, with certain things to where it's like you're showing up emotionally and physically with the Daughter of Pentacles as well in a way that is upright, is showing that, you know, you're open to the newness. You know what I'm saying? So That's not bad, air signs. That's not bad. I'm not mad at this. This is, I know. You know how it is. Well, you didn't hear the, what was it? The earth sign reading. That was a lot. Okay. Oh, let's go to what's hidden. Benevolent ancestors, gods, outside, back, specific message. What's hidden for Venus signs, back, specific message. Closing door completion, Lord. That's that wailing tree right there coming out and what's hidden. I think, like I said, make that whole idea of making amend. You can amend something by absolving it completely. You know what I'm saying? I think that there is a level of that and like wanting to get something just new. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like what's happening with you guys. You are completely absolving something and coming to like a complete close on something and looking towards what is brand new, stuff that you haven't really experienced before. Movement toward adventure. The movement has to happen. And then treasures hidden in the shadows. I like that. I feel like maybe there's a part of you, especially because with stranger curiosity, it's always deemed as like the thing on the surface that seems a little bit scary because you haven't really experienced it before, but it's really just the unknown and nothing to be afraid of. I think that that's what we're getting a little bit with the treasures hidden in the shadows, to where there are parts of you to where like you might even be a little bit scared to indulge in or to explore in a certain way or to move towards, but it is going to give you like some hidden gems about the self. We have the King of, this is a Cancer energy, that King of Cups. Wow, with the Ace of Cups reversed. This is crazy. And this is double Cancer. I never knew that. This is the moon. Then we have the Queen of Cups. Wow, this is Scorpio. A Scorpio and a Cancer. And then we have Nine of Wands, Leo and Sag. Interesting energy. And it's represented by the sun, and we're in that Leo season right now. I think that these are some very opposing energies if we think about it. Not opposing, but just kind of like not, there's common ground, but the approach is just ridiculously different. I feel like with the Nine of Wands is kind of like really into that fiery masculine yang energy, probably within the Mars energy. If we think about Scorpio, it is ruled by Mars. It is that kind of get up and go movement type of energy. It can even be guarded. It can even be a little bit snappy because of past experience and things like that, and just, you know, that type of thing. It does happen with the Nine of Swords energy. If you look at it, it looks like I've been through a lot, so don't start with me. Not even saying the past, it could just be today. My day was stressful, so don't start with me. Type of energy. And then we have the sensitive, you know, emotional intelligence approach, but it is with the Ace of Cups. So it's basically like just withdrawing the emotional connection, or even like emotional like intentions, to where it's like maybe like you're not even given that sense of emotional security. That is a lot for the hidden position. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a lot. I feel like I'm looking at two different sides of a situation, of either a person or a relationship, you know, because it is the King and Queen of Cups. You know what I'm saying? They are coming together, but the brashness and the withdrawal that's happening within here is causing, I would say that would be a really hard energy to connect with. It really would. And that's what's hidden. So this is interesting. Six of Swords, definitely movement again, travel, moving forward. Then we have the Strength card. What else did we have that was iffy? We had the World card on the side with the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, so I feel, or is it, let me look. I'm hungry as I don't know what now. That's crazy. I think this is the Three of Pentacles. Okay, yeah. So, oh, geez. Hold on, y'all. I'm running out of water. Hold on. Okay. Strength card on the side. Ah, Jesus. It's not that bad. It just seems like there may have to be a build up of the strength to take certain steps forward. I do see that because we do have the gestation period that you guys are tempted to fall into right now. I don't know. Air signs. Look, the movement towards adventure is going to unlock the treasures in the fucking shadows. Like, come on. That is as clear as day. I don't think that that's a problem. I feel like that's one of those things to where it's kind of like, if you move towards things that cause you to be curious, actually the fire signs got this. So actually whoever's in the more scorpionic Mars, fiery, maybe the younger version of this emotional thing, those people who are in that space, this is the air energy, so this is probably where you're more so at for the air signs. If you're in that space, if you trust what you are feeling excited about, and like what makes you have a sense of, I want to discover more, I want to soak up the information, I want to have this a resonating, light up sort of experience and feel like I'm experiencing something new, then go towards that, because that is going to unlock good things for you. And it's going to help you close the door on things that just are at a completion. When we have the word card here, that does speak about the fact that there are cycles that are happening and showing up and opening and closing of different phases, right? If you're trying to go against the grain of the season and whatever it is that you're in, then you're not going to be able to have that full Trinity 3 of this moment, the Three of Pentacles, to where it's like, okay, I am building towards something. I can see it, being finalized into a new or an established foundation. So that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. I feel like, this is why I said this is a complex story for you guys, air signs, because I see the goodness. I can see the resonating whale song resonating, and the new beginnings and things like that with the moon maiden coming in. But then I do see that there's a part of, there is some true mending that's happening from some deep-rooted stuff that's causing a draw with our inner withdrawal. So this could really just be you, to where like you are kind of trying to better integrate these parts of yourself, or this could just be the relationship dynamic that you're in, to where certain things are just not able to move forward, because it does seem like it is. We have a king and queen, so it does seem like there is a pairing that's happening here. I feel like that if you are seeing this within your partnerships, within like you and a partner or whatever, you have to be aware of the fact that especially with all this water energy, right? Water cannot stay stagnant. It has to move forward. So with that Six of Wands, having a strength to move things forward and actually create a sense of current could result in like the electricity needed for that resonance. You know what I'm saying? Because how there's things that are water powered and can actually like light things up the same way that we're talking about with like the whale song resonating, where you feel lit up and activated by something. If you are moving forward and you're using the strength of the partnership to move forward in that way, then yes. But obviously, if there's certain things that need to come to completion to where it's not going to work out, and we're at the point of reconciliation, then yeah, maybe I just need to focus on the new. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'll say. That's for the partnership stuff. When it comes to this as an internal process, let's just be clear, guys. Yes, there is a part of you that does, you have to have your moments for healing. You have to have your moments for reflecting and you know, kind of like forgiving yourself and forgiving others and having grace and saying that, you know what, maybe in a different time, in a different place, this is where we can be closer or whatever. Or, you know, it may be in this lifetime, or maybe at these certain, you know, familial or traditional gatherings where we're supposed to be together, then we'll show up for that. But then there are times to where, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying this on an internal tip, because you're going to have to realize that you can't always satisfy, you can't always satisfy every part of yourself being expressed at the same time. We have a lot of genetic material that can make us, you know, these supremely powerful beings, right? But then if we activate everything all at once, or certain things that are harmful and detrimental to new things being added on and evolving, and it causes us to kind of stay stagnant in old timelines or whatever, even of within our genetic memory, then if we do that, then we're not going to be able to kind of like set that tempo and that new pace for the exact type of reality that is we want. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we want to magnetize or birth something new, which I think that a lot of us, especially with this air energy, I think that's where you guys are. Okay. Hopefully that wasn't too much of a rant, but okay. I don't know. Let's just see what's in overall energy. Watch a strange person. Okay. We have that 6 energy again. Interests God was high. Specific overall energy for Gemini. This is speaking towards something like on a bigger scale. Ego sublimination in reverse. Oh, it could be some resistance of that too, but I think that what is happening? Hold on, let's see. Oh, wait. Beloved, self-acceptance, dust devil, moving out of stagnation. We see that been happening all throughout the reading. I think that gestation period is really like tempting for some of you guys, and that's probably like the opposite of what you need to do. I'm not gonna, that's only for some. Take it as it resonates. Water flow, water again, moon cycles. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. I'm telling you, what was the channel messages that I got for the air signs? Hold on. I don't forget. Transparent communication. Getting it okay to make about certain moods. Power of stillness, magnetism. Oh, we need to get into that for the stagnancy. Key to heart unlocking. Hold on. Did we get a heart card? I think we got heart, home, compassion. But hold on. Oh, and that king and that queen of cups are both hearts. Okay. Maybe. We got water flow. Okay, the power of stillness. Ego sublimation. That is exact. Okay, ego sublimation reverse. I feel like to bear witness to like a shedding of how you always thought you was right about certain things, or whatever like image or propped up idea that you had for yourself or something else, whatever. Like when you are the observer, when you see that completely get shattered rather than be reactionary, you don't get as caught up in the bullshit, point blank, period. That's just the best way to put it. And I think that does allow you to be more in your heart center, to say, okay, let me just observe and see rather than directly get involved. Watchers, transpersonal, what? Okay, moving on, getting back to integrity. I think that, I don't want to be like that, but I do think that there is a specific energy that makes this difficult, if that makes sense. when we have like the Ace of Cups in reverse, that could be somebody like really being like, I don't like you, I don't want you, like pure rejection in love. And we have the Nine of Wands, that can be like irritable, attitude all the time, you know, feeling guarded, not really opening up, all of that. These are some harder sort of energies, especially when we have it to where I feel like there was a recognition of something being a match at a point. Although we do have the closing door and this and that, there was something that was a match at a point. And that is difficult to walk away from, you know, and that could cause someone to act out of character to where they do have to adjust, you know, in regards to like how what did they express themselves in a way that was morally upright, ethical, fair, you know, that sort of thing. And I think that because there might be some level of shadow side being shown, to say the least, right? Shadow side being shown, you know, I think that they're either you or the other parties involved are trying to see how is the dust going to settle? How are things going to happen? How are things going to kind of play out? Where are the chips going to fall, if you will? You know what I'm saying? And I think that there could be either some social media looking or I don't know, that sort of thing to where, or seeing each other in your dreams, getting information about each other in dreams and stuff like that, to where it's like, okay, I'm getting some insight about a particular thing. Look, to me, I feel like that would just be, if that would be the method of approach, that would be kind of not really flowing towards the newness. You know what I'm saying? That would be sort of, I mean, maybe that is something new for somebody to do. I don't know. But when we talk about a new beginning and going where you're resonating and stuff like that, you would have to at least come to yourself and say, why is it that I will be resonating and wanting to see not necessarily the downfall, but like to see the fallout and how this person is taking certain situations. You know what I'm saying? I think that that is happening to where there is like some level of, I don't want to say pettiness, but it's some, you know what I'm talking about. Like that kinds of just like emotional digs, that sort of energy or whatever, where you're trying to influence the reality of someone else. And I think that that's just a thing. It's a random thing to come out, but I do think that with that ace, when we think about the fucking Ace of Cups and a Nine of Wands coming together, that's not the best. You're not really having, you know, the greatest of exchanges with each other. And I think that that's causing probably both parties, or just, you know, or you to at least reflect on the way that you're showing up in these falling outs and how it's impacting someone else's psyche, reality, that sort of thing. Whatever. I think that if you're the observer and you're not actually engaging and getting too reactionary towards the closings, the endings, the things of that nature, even in the reconciliations and the areas that you need to make amends, to where you're not being reactionary about that, you are going to be able to be more in your heart space rather than the, you know, nitpicky, subliminal stuff. That's just what it is. So I would say move forward, focus on the changing cycle, because waters have to flow. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of their cycle. They turn into rain, they turn into clouds, everything. So come on, come on. You gotta flow, you gotta work with things. All right, to wrap it up, we also have an outcome, King of Pentacles. This is Gemini energy. This is good for the air signs. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. So I do think that I do feel like, listen, the less you get, the more you get out of the stagnant energy and reactionary energy as well, maybe the super guarded energy, even like the retraction of your emotional expression to where you're not actually being real about how you feel, or you're withdrawing love as a way of, you know, if it's authentic, okay, but if it's coming from the heart, okay, but if you're withdrawing love and you don't really feel like that, it's just, you know, it's pettiness, whatever. If you're feeding into that, then you won't get to really kind of step into some of the goodness that's coming from these new beginnings. Because to me, when we have the King of Pentacles, that just shows that there is a level of, you know, maturity, foresight, and ability to have a level of like sovereignty and authority over your physical realm, to where you are feeling that complete full circle contentment, happiness, and that things are going to be flowing and that you have all your ducks in a row. So there are better things for you to focus on. So that's what I'll say. I feel like with the air signs, I'm sorry, y'all. I think that the relationship aspect of this made it a little bit complicated. It did, because like there are some of you guys who are focused on like making the necessary like initial steps and kind of setting those intentions and putting yourself out there in a way to like you're in that space of what is emotionally and physically satisfying you. It's like a lot of feminine energy for the air signs on that. You know that yin energy is rather good. You know, if we think about it, that's could be connected a little bit to the queen of cups or whatever, to where, and that's that Scorpio energy, to where like you are focused on like your own self-empowerment, you know, that material, you know, prosperity, abundance, that sort of thing, as well as your emotional satisfaction, you know, your gratification, your feelings as if you are, you know, psychically, you know, budding and flowing and flourishing and that sort of thing, or at least like, you know, being sparked and that sort of thing. And that does come with curiosity and new movement and moving towards a new, but I do feel like there is a layer of, you know, it's just a slight layer, either it shows up in the relationship or showing up within, to where, you know, it's a cocooning or something is really trying to heal and get it through, especially in gestation, shows that there's a level of like a true either deep development or even internal repair that is happening, or hibernation that's happening to kind of rejuvenate something that does, you know, completely correct or harmonize like your ego and heart balance. And that is showing up in a few different ways. So, all right, I love y'all air signs. Let's move on. I know that was a bit much. Okay. Oh, I was supposed to be taking, I forgot to take the cards away. Okay, so let's get started, guys. This is the water. I can't believe I'm doing water last. Wow, water signs. I do think that this is making it go faster. Like, I'm serious. I really think that this has made it, like, the way I'm doing it right now is making things go a lot faster. So, I'm very happy. I'm very, very, very happy. Let's keep going. So I'm going to share the channel messages that I meditated on for the water element. Give me one moment. And I am using a new deck. If you guys aren't looking at the other elements and gotten the whole spiel by now, right? Okay. So for water, I got mirroring sense of perception, convergent paths in a form, a little bit of a messy Pisces, but not really. It was literally two different forms, but they were kind of like converging. A black and yellow snake. I meant to look this up. I'm sorry, y'all. I did this for the because I got cherry blossom for earth element, and I meant to look up what cherry blossom symbolized. But anyway, okay, black and yellow snake. Is that mamba snake? I don't know. But I felt like that was connected to the root chakra and Kundalini energy. And then I saw some mountain peak tops. So that was interesting. So maybe like ebbs and flows, arcs in the life, you know, seeing like, you know, where your highs and lows are, whatever. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So that's the channel messages. Take what resonates, leave the rest. And let's go ahead and get into it. You know what I think I liked? I liked sharing the channel messages at the ends of the reading because some of the stuff actually popped up in the reading. For which one that was? I think that was Earth Signs that it did. That was kind of cool. So I may do it like that now. But okay, this is the first time I'm doing it. You know, get comfortable with me. All right, so for my water signs, let's look into the overall energy. Okay. Oh, my my blood is flowing. Okay, hold on. Overflow. Wow. You are really. I see. I kind of really see where this is going, but I'm curious to see where. Oh, what else is gonna come up? The blood is starting to flow back into my leg, and it feels so good, y'all. Animal instinct. Wow. Oh, peacekeeper serenity. This is really good. The reason why I say that is because I do feel like you guys are tapping into a level of a more like primal sense of self where, you know, when we really think about like, okay, the reason why I say this, okay, we have drifter, experiencing life as it comes, the crossing, initiation, wall, obstacles, overwhelm, overflow, which is it's overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. So where you do have the prosperity of like having a lot of just potential and limitless possibilities, especially when you think about like the abyss and like that yin darkness, all-encompassing energy. You have that, but with that comes it's actual, I don't want to say grit, but like it's actual like supernova. Like it has to come together. Like there has to be, you know, the feet has to hit the pavement. You have to have these obstacles and this even this push, pull, and resistance, or these magnetic charges sparking off together in order for it to even happen. And that is an obstacle in itself. It just, if you think about the actual like chemical reaction of it, right? Because it expends energy. Then we have Animal Instinct Peacekeeper coming up, which this is why I went primal with it. Because I do think that with the water signs right now, you guys are sensing like what part of you allows you to be, I don't want to say of service, but what part of you serves a purpose that has like its greatest wisdom with it, if that makes sense. You are kind of like sensing like, okay, I know there are areas within me that allows me to have like this deep level of wisdom and activation, and especially when we think about like the crossing, like an initiation, like this level of like spiritual rank, you know, to say like, I have experienced this, I have gone through this, I have, you know what I'm saying, earned the birthright or whatever that I possess, right? You know, like some of the, I know what I'm saying, I know. I don't want to keep saying potential energy because it's like this like bubbling up or whatever, because we have overwhelm and playing like that when the cup runs over, like, you know, like that rush and where it comes from, but you also kind of know the the cleanup. Like there are, there's always an action and a reaction. There's always consequences. There's always something that you have to kind of be further. I don't want to say responsible for, but it is a level of kind of like where you have to have, like, you can't avoid it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were to kind of, okay, let's say like you take on this new sense of self, you know what I'm saying? Or this new sense of responsibility, something that's kind of calling out to you and saying like, okay, I'm ready to make this next step. I am making this next step. I have actually evolved into this new, sense of notoriety and all that comes with it, right? Or this respect within my community, right? But then I don't want to also be a role model. I don't also want to have the additional kinds of like obstacles and challenges that come with it. That is, I feel like for me, when I'm thinking about this peacemaker, and it's like coming to peace with, it's part of your instincts to just say, okay, fuck it, let's create it all. And the part of your instincts to where it's like, okay, just come to terms with the fact that there is a level of refinement that is happening. There is a level of, I can't say the first thing that comes out of my mouth. I can't do the first thing that my first impulse, because I have, greater, like the more energy I put out, the more energy is going to come back to me, and I can get overwhelmed, and I may not want to take on all of those XYZ responsibilities. Okay, let's see. Let's get some clarity around this, because I feel like I'm making sense, but I feel like I'm losing some people. So let's go. And the reason why I say that is because, like, I know things come to me in odd ways sometimes. So the reason why I say that is there are sometimes when you just stumble on a level up or a blessing, or, you know what I'm saying? Like you're just actually following like your own just impulses and genuine interest. And suddenly like you are now initiated into this new way of being or level of thinking, because now you know so much more about something that your skill set and even like your newfound interest in the things that you are focused on experiencing would cause you to step into a level of even leadership, or to say that you have a level of mastery around XYZ type of topic, right? It could be anything, especially when it comes to initiation. Like you could just be getting older to where you're going into a different age group, to where it's like, okay, now you have this level of societal expectations on you, whatever, because you're this old, or, you know what I'm saying? Or you could be initiated to where, like, I don't know, let's say like, okay, even at your job or whatever, you got a freaking promotion or whatever. That's how it shows up in the physical, to where, okay, now you're promoted, and you were promoted just because of your skill set and what you could do well, but now this comes with another level of responsibility, and you really need to take that on. But it is what it is, because you've already earned this. You've unlocked this through your own genuine instincts, your own genuine kind of sense of power, whatever. That can come with, okay, this is kind of a lot. This is kind of new levels, new devils. This is not something I was prepared for. And just coming to peace with that's kind of a part of it. And to still be able to kind of, yes, tap into like that raw instinct, that raw power that led you to where you are now, while also refining it for the new things that, the new obstacles and things that come with that. Ten of Cups. Four of this upright. Okay. Whenever the ancestors. Why? Let's just blue minds. I think I am rushing a little bit too though. Is somebody looking at me? Y'all better see. You know what? I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing. But if it's who I think it is, don't. Anyway, okay. Okay. Hangman. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Okay. I'm about to get some clarity for this, because I'm about to say, is this a relationship that's, and I don't mean to do that, but it could be a relationship that's activating certain things. Hold on. Specific message. Two of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, 10 of Wands. Okay. I think, especially with initiation, you know how sometimes okay, I don't know how to describe this. But basically, okay, let's say, okay, you're in a state of abundance, prosperity. You know, let's paint the picture now. You're in a state of abundance, prosperity. Your cup is overflowing. You get overwhelmed by like your own sort of like schedule, your own sort of things that you have going on, but they're flowing. They're doing what it needs to be done. You're drifting towards something, you know, you're putting in your work, you're doing the things that you need to do, you are, you know, doing your creative endeavors, whatever it is you're passionate about, the things that you are responsible for. You're drifting, you're kind of just experiencing life as it's coming to you, right? And then you realize, hold the fuck on, I have completed a big portion of, let's say, like some sort of internal life lesson or whatever. Like something happens, you know, to where, you know, you get recognized for something, and therefore your actual rank, your actual, you know, sense of leadership or whatever it is upgraded. Okay, you are initiated now, right? So now you're realizing like, okay, wait, I have entered into something that has caused me to be a more evolved version of myself. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I've already been doing it, but I didn't really know that I was going to be called to task as this is your title now, because, or this is your responsibilities now, because I've already been doing it. You know what I'm saying? But it does come with its perks. It comes with its overflow, yes. But you know, it does have its obstacles and things like that. So, you know, you're kind of at the place to where it's like, okay, I still had a little bit, I had some parts of me that was a little bit more primordial. I had some parts of me that was a little bit more, not say aggressive, but maybe even aggressive, a little bit animalistic, a little bit more primal, that sort of thing. And I need to kind of, not say put those to bed, but I need to refine it. I need it to be a little bit more, you know, on the harmonious side of things. It can't just be the same way it's always been. If you also think about, well, we didn't get any Aries energy or whatever, because I'm thinking like about the nodal shift too, to where it's like you might want to be a little bit more, you know, you may be tempted to be a little bit more super self-interest motivated. However, you do have areas in which, because you've been initiated into a new level of responsibility, you may have areas in which you do still have to keep the peace and keep it cute and keep a level of harmony and balance within even your relationships, or within like how you divide up your time for the things that you are making a priority and investing in, right? So that's interesting in overall energy, because this is like one of those things to where I do think that this is a rather complex situation. I don't feel like for the water signs that everybody's going to be in the same place with this, if that makes sense. But I do think that elements of it is kind of what's happening. You know what I'm saying? To where you're realizing that initial shock of your level up, or like your level up is setting in. It was organic. It was just how you were just normally moving. Your level up and your level of new recognition or leadership is setting into you. And you're realizing that there's parts of you that you have not yet cleaned up. And it happens. It happens. And that's a par for the course. Now, with the hangman, it does sense that in overall energy, you guys have probably been in a more self-reflective state about this because you're kind of waiting for the moment to fully birth into whatever this sense of what it is you've been building on is. You know, I feel like you haven't made your claim. You know how it is to where it's like, okay, you know how with elections, when you know by the votes who won, but they haven't had an inauguration yet. The inauguration, I think that the Seven of Pentacles is talking about that build up for the pop out. I don't think there has been a full pop out yet, but I do see the pop out it's manifesting, it's festering or whatever. I think it's because you are refining and keeping, you know, just making sure that when you do it, you have all of your parts of you fulfilled or tamed and refined. You know what I'm saying? Like you have your, you know, your more aggressive wolf. That one is fed. It's good. You know, you don't need, you know, you're not going to have the unexpected kind of pop out. I think that the reason being, it has something to do with a relationship. Didn't want to say it, but I think it does. I think I do think water signs, it does have to do with a relationship. I think that you've making steps towards a relationship that has actually shown you where your boundaries are. Basically, you stepped into a relationship that's showing you where your boundaries are, where they're good and where they're bad. And with that 10 of wands, I do think that is like a releasing of some sort of burden. I think that, I mean, it's not reversed, but I do think that there may have been like, you know, it does have to do, I feel like this is a nodal shift type of conversation. I don't know why, but I think that maybe the relationship that you're stepping into, you're realizing how you don't even have, or there may have been certain burdens that you were kind of taking into it that you might be kind of like realizing like, hold on, wait a minute. This is at its completion. You know what I'm saying? With this Two of Cups energy that you're stepping into, you may have an opportunity to where it's like, I really kind of don't have to worry about some of the stuff that was like bogging me down, or oh no. Because some of y'all, hold on. I just realized, okay, listen, this is what I say. Because it's the side that I'm more so resonating with, but there is another side to this. I do think that at the foundation of it, with this 10 of wands, there comes a time to where you are putting so much on your back and your shoulders, and like you finally get to let off the load. You know what I'm saying? And that Two of Cups energy could say like, I have someone that I can share, you know, whatever it is, life experiences with, you know, whatever it is, even this new level up of this new sense of authority and leadership that I have somebody that I can share those obstacles, those burdens, whatever with, to where, not to say that they take it on, but I can at least release it. They help me put it down so that I'm not just beat and bogged down by myself. But I do think that some of you guys are seeing in ways that there have been relationships that have been nothing but that, and that you're taking this hangman moment to say, let me reflect, let me wait, let me chill, because I need to adjust the ways in which I am allowing people to come in and out of my life. And I want to go about this differently with that, you know, when we have that Son of Cups, it's just like the Knight of Cups. You want to go about it differently. You want to do things in a new way. So that is interesting for the overall energy. I'm sorry, water signs, but I mean, hey, things happen, and hey, we know this is a collective reading. It's a lot of different type of people in the world, so you know we can't just always focus on the good. But I mean, I don't think it was a bad thing. I think this is, especially with the hangman, it's at least causing some level of self-awareness and a new level of self-reflection about where you're at. And that's never a bad thing. And if you're waiting and you're in a waiting period because you are building towards creating something, you know, for yourself or whatever, And then, okay, wait, that's fine. Let's unlock some stuff. Let's see what's hidden for the water signs. Okay, skywriting the fates. Oh, Lord. Oh, wow. I see what this is. Because, you know what? In the 2 videos, I don't know if y'all listen to the other ones, but in the 2 videos that I have not, like, uploaded, whatever, water signs, you guys were getting spiritual narcolepsy, like, back-to-back, dude. Like, back-to-back. And the skywriting the face says that was actually, you guys needed to go through a period where you weren't, not to say you weren't seeing things clearly, but to where you weren't just, because you know that's another thing too, with psychic abilities and stuff like that. Sometimes you can kind of like micromanage your fate with that, and I think that there needed to be a moment where you were flying blind. Horseman, here to change, yep. To surrender to actual changes, to the changes that show up for you subconsciously, unconsciously, that sort of thing. To the changes that show up for you to where like you're not really even going to notice unless maybe like somebody else points it out for you, type of thing, because it's so unconscious to you. You know what I'm saying? Let's say one more card for what's hidden. For water signs, sun, rising, and the sense. Teacher knowledge. Yep, innocent purity. Okay. Oh wow. I see what that means. Okay. You can learn a lot from this. This is like the part of shadow work that people forget to include, to actually see the innocence and the purity of those like darker or more negative or even like more primal and primordial parts of yourself. You know what I'm saying? There is a reason why, like, you know, you show up with your divine rage or your emotional upheavals or anger. What did I say? Anger already. I don't know, like trickster energy. Oh, that just resonated. I just felt like my voice just echoed like really, really wide. That was interesting. Somebody needs to hear that. But anyway, like parts of yourself that you're like completely blind to where it's like, you know, you just say it, it's a habit of yours, it's just what you normally do, it's how you get down or whatever. And it's not really malicious, it's no ill intent, like you're not consciously doing anything poorly, but it's just kind of like what you more so are drawn to, you know, and it's for whatever spiritual reason. There's innocence in that. There's genuine innocence in that. And to learn from the purity of that, because it does have your primordial instincts to it. Because this primordial part of yourself to which you're drawn to where it may show up in a way to where it's not like the most, you know, spiritually evolved. It doesn't seem like you're focused on your spiritual path. It seems like you're more focused on like the material, the fleshly, those type of things. You are fated to have those certain appetites and those certain detours or scenic paths so that you can actually really realize the parts of you that truly need to change and surrender to that. Because if you are constantly just trying to, you know, always trying to do divination on something or trying to, like, if you're not really just following your first mind and you're trying to like overanalyze like a really spiritual, fated, destined sort of energy, when you're doing that, you're kind of drawing away from the potency, the primal instinctual elements of it. You might be over intellectualizing it rather than, you know, having the full-blown moment. So this is interesting. Water signs, I think that with that hangman, that's you showing that you are self-reflecting and realizing like, okay, there were some areas in which I have been falling off within my own spiritual flow and essence, whether it's and it may be shown through relationships, whether it's in the ways that the things that I'm entertaining, the things that I am breathing life into, and whatever it is. You're realizing why that was and what that connected you to, because even those obstacles and those mishaps or whatever still allow you to have to guide your steps towards this initiation where you are rising in rank, so that you can share the, what do they call it, the misconceptions. You know, you only arise to the misconceptions when you fail at things, when you have those lessons, when you have those moments where you're just like, okay, that was a mistake, that was a misstep, that was a whatever it was, right? So that's just something to think about. I think that matters, because I think that there is like some really big transformative moments that are happening for you, and you could not get there if you were doing everything so to the T and, you know, within your highest of psychic and spiritual senses. The reason being is just because there were certain things that were faded that needed to change, and you probably would have been able to maybe have the knowledge but not the wisdom, you know what I'm saying? And therefore, because you know how like you have the knowledge of something like, oh yeah, I don't do that because XYZ, rather than saying like, okay, let's say like, I'm trying to think of a freaking drug or whatever that does have positive effects or whatever. Okay, let's say psychedelics, mushrooms, it's pretty obvious. Anybody with sense knows that they have, it's positive and it's negative. People be like, oh, I don't do hard psychedelic drugs because it, you know, it could be harmful or whatever. People throw up on it, whatever. Okay, cool. Yes, all of those things are happening. That's a primal reaction. Yes, it's hard. It's an obstacle. It's a little fucked up. You may have a bad trip. You could lose your mind, whatever. But if you think about the purity and the innocence of it, you probably, that bad trip, if you really take the knowledge and wisdom of that, you're able to like really be like, oh, wait a minute now. I know I threw up and I know I may have purged my body and that may have been a little bit tough on me, but I do have this new sense of awareness of, you know, whatever it is or whatever. Because I was listening to, well, I'm not going to reference it, but yes, that people do say that or whatever. Like sometimes KT Archangel or whatever, he was just speaking about the fact that if you do purge while you're on shrooms or something like that, even though it's not the more, you know, elevated experience of it, and it seems like the darker, more fleshly experiences of that shroom trip, it's still doing what it's supposed to do so that you can have that deep transformation. So that's what I'm trying to make clear, y'all. Okay. Clarity. Okay, we gotta hurry up. Okay, what else is going on? Let's clarify what's going on with the what's hidden for the water signs. Oh, 8 of Cups, emotional attachments, Lord, Crone. Okay. Water signs, y'all not getting away. I mean, I think that I don't want to say this, but this has probably been the more emotionally vulnerable reading so far. I think that you guys are kind of like, hopefully this resonates, because I do feel like this is kind of really touching into very like specific like situations, and not everybody is like really fully seeing it in a specific type of way. But I do think that when we have a Crone, we're speaking about like a level of inner wisdom and like personal experiences and things like that, right? When we have the 8 of Cups, it's saying that we need to release like certain emotional narratives around that. You know what I'm saying? Emotional, like forms of like connecting or associate, like the emotions that we're associating with certain experiences has to be released. And I think it is because you're not seeing even like the purity and the innocence of what it is that you're experiencing, even when you're in your primal animalistic instinctual space. Okay. Also, with the strength of 6 of Wands, what in the world? About what is hidden? Maybe it's not that bad. Okay, okay, boom, that does make sense. This is we're doing it 2 different groups again, whatever, oh well. But for you guys where this is more so an emotional connection, I do think that you're changing the way in which you emotionally connect with people, so that it's not so lost into patterns in which you've been drawn to before, and in a way that has like a deeper wisdom. It doesn't show that you're jaded. It shows that you're like, you know, a wealth of knowledge, and like you see like, you know, the natural innocence and purity and, you know, all forms of, let's say, like emotional expression and showing up for people, but you also have like the wisdom enough to know like, okay, what should be allowed and what is actually going to, you know, elevate or, you know, mature the certain bonds or connections or whatever. Because the crone is basically like a widowed woman, you know what I'm saying? Like she's wizened, she's wise, she has basically, you know, all the experience. People could come to her for advice and stuff like that. But, you know, she is more so to herself, you know, that sort of thing. But she, you know, she works with the elements, the cosmos, and she also is there for the people who need her. So for you guys who are in the relationship boat, I think that there's something happening around that to where, you know, yeah, I'm about to say you might be instinctually drawn to people who bring you challenge. Especially when we have that obstacles and overwhelm and that overflow happening right now. I think that you might be drawn to certain things that are challenging because of the wisdom that you extract from it. But you do need to have it done in a way to where it doesn't throw off like your own personal internal like solitude and your own internal balance. Because the crone is very to herself. You know what I'm saying? Like she'll be single before she gets in a relationship that's toxic. Now, for those of you who, and you know, maybe upgrading the way you show up in relationships too. But for those of you to where this is like an internal process or whatever, to where like you are genuinely being initiated, you are genuinely even through like the people who you have around you, your relationships or whatever, you are being initiated into a new level of leadership and sense of recognition and authority, just because you upgraded your powers and you shown and improved certain things, right? So you guys, you have to have the strength to know what that power of recognition is going to come with. You know what I'm saying? You have to be willing to take on that recognition. You have to be able to take on the battles and the back and forths, or, you know, because with the 6 of Wands, that is somebody who has victory and battle, meaning that they've been through it and they're getting their valor, their respect, their honor for making it through that. You have to be willing to take on that level of responsibility and dignity within self, so that you can have the, you know, the spiritual fortitude. It's not just gonna be, you know, let's say like the spiritual narcolepsy, to where it's like, you know, showing up in your lower self in a way that's like aggressive or rah-rah, whatever, ignorant, that type of thing, animalistic, but not refined and on your highest level and your highest self type of way. So, and I don't want to say levels or whatever, but you get what I mean, highest self perspective, right? But when you are tapped into your higher self, you can say, yes, these are the exact moves that I made within this this battle that allowed me to get the victory. I have the strength, I have the fortitude, and I can replicate these results because I'm strong in that sense, and I'm not doing it blind. I'm not doing it subconsciously and just, you know, out of impulse. I'm doing it with, you know, strength. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's do one more thing for clarity. Oh, no, I had a good one. I remembered that. Yeah, so we have the death card now, but hold on. Oh, it didn't show up this time. It was one card that I never even saw in here before, but I'm not going to be able to find it from here because I'll be forgetting it. This one does, I'll show you that. It does by numbers or whatever. Okay, so we have the death card and what's hidden. Oh, imbalance. That's really good. This is Capricorn too. I actually like that. And then we have the Death card. Death, deep transformation. Okay, so the Death card, let's do it on a spiritual level. Expresses in the spiritual the perpetual movement of creation, destruction, and renewal. In an intellectual world, the ascension of the spirit into divine spheres. That's that initiation. In the physical world, natural death, that is to say the transition through which you change physical forms or spiritual forms. And then we have the balance card. I think this was probably like justice. Or read as justice or equilibrium. So in the spiritual world, it's absolute justice. In the intellectual world, attraction and repulsion. In the physical, relative justice when it comes from man. So basically, like, who is at fault in certain situations. So, okay. I think that okay. I think with this is speaking to like that Eight of Cups, that initiation, that part of you. I think that you guys are going through this level up in just regard. I keep saying level up. I'm sorry, but I do think that it is like you're going into just a total different realm and sphere of even like how you're thinking and stuff like that. And I think that what that's causing is for a need for balance. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like when you have these moments to where, and I've had this message in the beginning of the reading, so it must mean something to me. But when you have these moments to where you're seeing like a complete like destruction of like an old way of being, and like you can't even say like, okay, like when you were a kid, you like after a certain age you couldn't say, oh, I'm a kid to your parents anymore. Like when that part of you like died out and you had to like take on a new thing, there was a new level of balance, a new sense of self that you had to step into. And I think that that's what's happening here. You know what I'm saying? There's just old ways I feel like have to die. That's the Aries energy. I think that's also going to allow you to be more in this North Node energy if you focus more so on what is going to be a sense of refinement and renewal. So that's interesting. I think the card that I had before was going to be way better than that one though. Five of Swords. Tower moment. Yeah. Tower and a Five of Swords probably is certain like snappy aspects to you. I'm just saying. Okay. Parts of you that causes conflict. That's what it is. Because it's that animalistic aggression. The parts of you that cause conflict, you're going to be getting some refinement. Just because you already have obstacles that's coming with this initiation and this new sense of being. All right, let's get some outcome cards. My bad, guys. Okay. Water signs, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm just like, I don't know. This is interesting. All right, let's get some accurate information for the overall energy. Feast and plenty again. Woodwise, you got to be adaptable. There's some, you're getting hit with something. Something is coming at you, and it is slightly overwhelming, if that makes sense. You know how it is to where it's like, okay, when you've been asking for something that you want it to come to fruition or whatever, and it finally does, and then it's kind of like, okay, this is a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, this comes with a lot. I knew that it wasn't going to be easy, but maybe I just didn't expect this. I think that that's what's happening. Like when you feel like you've been having a sense like, okay, something is about to happen, something is about to change in my life, and when it finally does, you're like, okay, that I didn't expect it to do it that way though. You know what I'm saying? Okay, because we have Woodwise adaptability in the reverse with Feast of Plenty, choices and their consequences. So yeah, you're in an abundant space. You're probably able to manifest a lot. There's some adjustments that have to happen. Magician's sword, empty well, time to replenish. Wow. Oh my Jesus. And overall, I honestly do think this is somebody who steps into a new level of fame and they're like, I don't want to be a role model. But yes, the fuck you are. This is what it's giving. I don't know why. I have no clue why that's what it's coming up to me as. But it's like you're getting all of this abundance and these these new things kind of like flowing into you or whatever, or in your space or in your environment, and you have to adjust. It is not easy. You have the obstacles, you have the overwhelm, you have the adaptability in reverse. Like you are literally having to adjust in a moment of feast, in a moment of abundance and prosperity, or things coming like in initiation. Like, come on. And that's why I say, because with the Magician's sword, it's saying like you are having a level up of your own personal power and having that, security within self about that, right? But you are basically kind of like starting fresh on a new level. That's what I think. Okay. Oh man. This is just how it's coming up for me. And I don't know why it's just becoming a thing I don't know why that's a complicated thing to speak about. But I feel like, because like with some of you guys, it's showing up in your relationships. So maybe like your relationships are getting upgraded, or something is happening within the relationship to where it's like, okay, this is what the fuck this comes with. Yeah. Or like, it's like literally within you, like what you have going on. Like, oh, I asked for this type of person and this is what it comes with. Yes, this is what it comes with. And then it's like, okay, even when it comes to work situations and stuff like that, like once you get a certain level of recognition, like it comes with more eyes on you. You know what I'm saying? More of that. Like, yes. And overall energy, nurturing movement. Okay. At least you are making, okay. I do feel like with this is basically saying that you guys, in the overall energy, as long as you nurture the actual flow, the pace, the rhythm in which you want things to expand, you can, you know what I'm saying? You can have like a more magnetic and receptive, approach towards this. It'll help, be more of a nourishing experience while you do have to adapt and adjust. Okay, we have 3 of Cups with the 5 of Cups reversed. Okay, I don't know. This is, I don't know what's up with this deck with y'all. I don't know why this, I feel like this is not reading for, this deck is kind of like it's going rogue when it comes to the water signs for some reason. But okay, in overall energy, we do have it that you guys are going to be doing a lot more socializing, putting down some of the past disappointments. That 5 of Cups in reverse is amazing, actually. Definitely putting down past disappointments, like ways in which you probably felt like, either abandoned, left out, that sort of thing. And being able to focus on like celebratory things that actually make you feel good. Okay, 6, relationships that have a healthy give and take. 5 of Cups reverse again. Okay, I feel like with this reading, there is something. I feel like with this reading, there is a dynamic that's playing out, because we're getting a lot of 5 of Cups energy, and now we have the 6 of Cups. So this is talking about a partnership too. There's a lot of energy that's playing out within a dynamic that is exposing something within you. It's showing you something about like when you are being, giving and offered up that nurturing, that love, that whatever, the actual way that you move with it, the pace that you set with it, the way that you have a give and take, because you have an opportunity to release and put down a lot of that. This is not just hurt and pain. This is just like spoiled milk like shit that just was just mistakes and shit that just did not work out and could not be repaired. The way that you are actually having the opportunities for give and take, to build with people, to trust yourself, to, you know what I'm saying? Like you have these opportunities coming in, water signs. I feel like a lot of that animalistic instinctual thing that's needing refinement for peacemaking is because this relationship dynamic is exposing certain aspects of you to where you want this harmony. You finally get it. You are initiated into it to where you're like, you get a better relationship. You know what I'm saying? You actually get a relationship that is more satisfying, or you get a better job that is more satisfying in certain areas, or paying you more, or whatever it is, to where, you know, I'm even trying to think. Or even like, you know, like you even get more, especially because you have the Six of Wands, you are getting more social recognition. Your reputation is getting boosted. People are actually paying more attention to you because you have more influence, more impact. That, now what you do with it, basically, to where are you going to project some of the hurt and the pain or the disappointments, the, you know, some of those more, you know, energies, those emotional ways that do need to be transformed? Or are you going to show up in a way to where it's like, okay, I am willing to start fresh. I'm willing to not say start fresh, but I'm willing to replenish in a way that is going to be healthy. I am willing to adapt and adjust. I'm willing to refine. You know what I'm saying? So look, water signs, I love y'all, but this I think that this reading got a little bit overcomplicated for a very specific reason. I think that it's not easy with y'all right now to basically have this new sense of identity, but it will come. I get it. You going up in rank, you're going up in power, you're going up in influence and all of this good stuff, recognition, all that good stuff. And it takes time to adjust. As long as you just focus and have a balance, a healthy balance, you will definitely be able to reap the rewards and set the pace and a tone that's actually nourishing and nurturing for you. But okay, love you guys. Feel free to like the video, like, share, subscribe, do all the good stuff, comment. But you know, if you want to book a personal reading, always that will be in the description box below. Peace out.